right, awesome. So, our first question comes from Jennifer, and she asks, how do you handle break fix amongst Scrum teams? Do you reserve sprint points for that work? The company has no desire at this time to create a break fix team. All right, so I'm just going to drop the question in here that we're asking just for clarification. Let me start the timer. Okay, so so if I understand this question correctly, we have the product team that is developing new work and developing increments in sprints, since we have Scrum teams. That is that also is involved with the break fix work. So the question is basically, how do you kind of handle this within your sprints? So the way you handle it in your sprints is, it's basically the same as you would handle any other work. You should have an intake process, right? That might go in the product backlog. It gets refined and it goes into your sprints. Do you reserve sprint points for that work? You could, right? That's definitely one way to do it. The company has no desire to create a separate break fix team. That's probably a good thing, right?
I was going to
Because
say
now
that.
what we've done is we have the team that is create. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you probably want to have the same team. So the important part of this is to use empiricism, right? So make it transparent as to what you're doing. Inspect that strategy, implement it, and then adapt a new strategy. That's it. Um, I will say that if you do have things coming back to you often, right, from customer feedback, or if they're bugs, you want to you want to kind of address this as a team. As a Scrum Master, what I would do is I would take this to the team, and I would say, you seem to be having a lot of things coming back to you. How are you going to handle this, right? Figure out how to make that transparent so that you can inspect it and adapt new ways. Um, that's my short
Yeah.
answer. Sam, you got a couple minutes. You want to add anything to that?
Yeah. I want to say I agree. I like the idea actually of a team fixing its own defects, not creating a team that is responsible for cleaning up after other folks. If a team knows it's got to deal with its defects, they have an incentive to create a robust definition of done and stick with it if the work is going to come back to them if something is wrong with it. And I have had teams where they reserved capacity for that sort of work. What I often ask is, if you're having to reserve a lot of your capacity for defect work, ask yourself why. Is your definition of done robust enough? And are you adhering to it? This is where I see it happen often under pressure. Teams start cutting corners and they're not actually adhering to their definition of done. That creates defects and future work, and then they start to slow down. Stakeholders get a little peeved. Is this a PG webcast, John? I almost swore.
No, this is
But
R. No, you can
okay.
say whatever you want. This is raw agility, man.
All right then. Stakeholders get pissy, is what I was gonna say. Because why aren't we getting stuff? So if you have that situation where there's lots of defects, ask yourself why. Improve your definition of done. Commit to quality, and then make sure you address a portion of that undone work every sprint, so that you're paying that off.